thanks for joining us for another episode of What's On Southern Ostrobothnia. I'm Mark Wiltshire.
Hey, and I'm Glenn Murray.
And in each episode, we highlight some of the interesting events and activities taking place across the region of Etelä-Pohjanmaa in the coming month. There'll be lots of info, but don't worry, we've made all the notes and we've saved the links, and you'll find them in a blog post on NordicExplorerProductions.com.
Remember to press that subscribe button on YouTube, Spotify, or whatever podcast player you're listening on. Also, keep your eyes open for our new YouTube Shorts videos, where we give some advance notice on events that we have learned about after the recording of this show. We also share some clips of events that we actually attend. We found loads of events in June to share today, haven't we, Mark?
Yeah, that's right. Many of the bigger summer festivals are making their long-awaited return after COVID, and we'll mention those, but we're also going to highlight some of the smaller, more unusual events that we found. Glenn, why don't you tell us about the first event you found this month?
The first event I found is the Kiuaskallio bike park is opening up out there in Jalasjärvi. They're opening, it's a participation sport. The ski hill turns into a bike park during the summer. It's on Lempi-Laakson-tie, 61D in Jalasjärvi. The opening day is going to be on the 4th of June, which is quite early in the month of June. They open on noon, 12 p.m. that day on the 4th. The park opens. They have extended the season pass, lift pass sale until Sunday, the 5th of the 6th. So
is that like an early bird offer or something?
Yeah, it's like if you pay for a season pass, it's usually $200. I think it's discounted, but they've extended that to the day after opening for people to get in and get their lift passes, so that you get the whole season worth. You don't have to pay €20 every time you go there, so it's quite nice. So if you didn't get your lift passes in the sale that had previously come and gone, they've extended that to the day after the opening. Season lift passes can be bought online or at the rental shop at the actual ski hill / bike park hill.
Yeah, it's neat. It's neat how these ski hills kind of have found a way to be used in the summertime. And this downhill biking, you've talked about it before, it's becoming more of a thing.
It is, yeah. So the opening day will be Thursday. So opening days during this season will be Thursdays after work from 5 o'clock in the afternoon to 8 o'clock at night, and both days on the weekend from noon till 6 p.m. They have just gotten a bunch of new rental bikes in this season as well, the Canyons, in all sizes. So if you haven't, given it a go yet, then go out there and give it a go. They've got you covered. So yeah.
Many people have got mountain bikes or cross-country bikes, but downhill's a bit different. So this is somewhere they can try this. Maybe if they haven't got a bike before. Mountain
biking is downhill mountain biking or full suspension mountain biking is a little more expensive. The bikes are almost always over €2,500 to buy. So if you, even second hand, they're around the 2,000 mark. So if you can't afford that, there's definitely a rental option there. Yeah. And if you break something, then that's just the way it goes. You didn't break your own bike. And I've had a lot of people ask me about hey, can I borrow your bike? And I'm like, yes, you could have, but I sold mine recently. So now I've only got 3 bikes.
Yeah.
Prices can be found on the webpage, but are decently priced, with the hill boasting 4 different tracks from all abilities, from the black jump line, which is insanely steep and insanely big jumps, right down to the pump track that's out the front that you can hone your skills on. The pump track makes it the 5th track.
Okay.
Because there's a red through the forest and there's 2 blues down the front.
So they're kind of coloured
hill.
like ski tracks.
They are, yeah. They basically follow the ski type situation, and the pump track is just this flat track out the front that you can build your skills riding a bike. So prices for a season pass are $169 before the 5th of the 6th. Sorry, the 5th of the 6th, yes, I got it right, and 249 after that day, that extended day.
That's quite a good discount as well. If you're interested, then
it is, because like I said, I think €20 is for an hour on the lift. So if you go there every Thursday after work, but most weekends, then you'll easily get that 169 really quick. So the website is Kiuaskallio.fi, and we will show other links to the Facebook page in the blog and the video description, the podcast description.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mentioned before about bigger festivals, but this is another smaller festival that kind of caught my attention. It's a Puukko festival. Puukko is this very traditional type of knife that is very popular in Finland, and as well as this Puukkofestarit, there's also a handcraft fair, and this is in Kauhava. This is in the area around the factory of Iisaki's Järvenpää.
Yep.
It's a really traditional factory. They still make knives in a quite traditional way up there, and they're beautiful, beautiful knives as well. This is taking place from the 24th until the 26th of June, and in this event they're going to have a knife throwing championship, the Finnish Knife Throwing Championship 2022. There's a knife poem competition, and there's also a fantasy knife photo competition. There's all kinds of stuff for the knife enthusiasts to get involved in. There's also horse and carriage rides, and I understand there will be stalls selling like handcrafted products, so other people that maybe make knives as a hobby but want to sell them, and other handcraft products on sale. Entry to the event is free because it's like a market, so you can wander around and look at the stalls. And entry to the knife throwing competition is €10 for adults and €5 for children.
They let children throw knives.
Welcome to Finland, everybody. Welcome to Finland. But it's just worth a visit. There's a shop also at the Iisaki's Järvenpää, so it's worth getting up there and checking out the whole event over that weekend. You can find out more on the website Puukkofestarit.fi. You can register for the knife throwing by email. It's kauhavanpuukkofestarit@gmail.com. We'll put those links in the blog post. And if you want to learn a little bit more about these Puukko knives, then I've got an episode of my Explore Finland radio show podcast called Tradition and Magic, the Finnish Puukko knives. Give you a little bit of background on those.
Yeah. So the next one that I've found is the Kansainväliset Suurmarkkinat, which is basically the annual international food fair that's held on Kirkonkatu in Seinäjoki every June. So the dates that's going to be happening is from June the 2nd to June the 5th, Thursday to Sunday. There'll be food stalls from all over the world, including some years there's been an Australian barbecue there.
We talked about this last year, I think, because we talked about me having had ostrich burger and kangaroo burger and things like that. So there's some interesting stuff there. Yeah,
no, but we've got stuff from Spain, Portugal, all over usually, and we usually have your kinsmen show their faces there. They have the double-decker London bus with the fudge and that.
They do. So I spent an absolute fortune on fudge last year. So
it's ridiculously, and all it is just sugar.
But it's nice sugar. So just be careful when you're loading up your bags of fudge that you give your kids a limit. I have one piece and
I feel sick. So it's that sweet. This is becoming a regular event. Even during Corona, they held it.
They got lucky last year. Kind of, it was fairly open, wasn't it? At that time?
It was fairly open at that time, but also it's outside, so they required you to wear masks and everything. Well, this year there's no restrictions at all, so
good.
You'll be able to do whatever you want. But because it was outside, I think it was one of the ones that were. It's not a music festival where everyone's on top of each other. People are kind of in their own groups, but yeah. Not only is there food there, but there's specialty products. You get stuff from all over the world, such as soaps and home decor items. But the fair is generally based around food. The opening hours on all days is 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. at night. entry into the area is obviously free. They're trying to draw you in. However, take some money because obviously the stalls are not going to be free. I would recommend that you take some cash just in case. Like it's like a markkinat. So although it's a very sophisticated food fair, there might be some smaller stalls there off to the side that might not have a card machine.
And also, I think I've had the situation where the machine just stopped working. They wanted to take cards, but they just couldn't. So.
Or they don't. They literally don't get a phone connection to the card reader. So
yeah, take cash. Good point.
Take cash. Some cash at least. Take both. So the website is Europa-markkinat.fi. And the Facebook link will be in the blog post, the podcast description and video description.
Yeah. I mentioned at the start that a few of the larger events are making a comeback this year, and we figured that you'll probably see these advertised, so we didn't want to go into great detail, but we did want to still mention them. And the first one I'm going to mention is the Provinssi festival. It's a rock and pop festival. There's a lot more pop nowadays. So it used to be called Provinssi Rock. It's now just Provinssi.
Yeah.
It's taking place in Tyrnävänsaari in Seinäjoki, a lovely park area just outside the centre of Seinäjoki, from the Thursday the 30th of June until Saturday the 2nd of July. And you'll find more information there on the website provinssi.fi. And then there's also the Kuortane Games. Kuortane is about half an hour drive from Seinäjoki. This is an athletics event, and it's held in a athletics arena near to the Olympic Training Centre out there in Kuortane. This is taking place on the 18th of June, and you'll find more information at the website kuortanegames.com.
Yeah, so leading on with that, there are a few other big events that I'd like to mention today. As I come from Ilmajoki, the first one is going to be Ilmajoki Musiikkijuhlat, which is the opera festival down by the picturesque riverfront in the amphitheatre along...
Incredible location.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Down on that riverfront of Kyuaskallio in the centre of Ilmajoki. It's so beautiful, picturesque. It's on the banks of the Kyuaskallio River. It will be happening from the 9th to the 20th of June 2022, and to find that information you go to www.musiikkijuhlat.fi. Now the other one that I'd like to mention today is quite a popular one, and it happens every year just like the one before mentioned ones, but we have the Mijoona Tivoli, which is, Tivoli I believe is a fair, like a child's fair,
like a travelling fairground or something, yeah.
So it's like a free fairground for kids. Now this is going to be held at Kyläkauppa in Keskinen, Tuuri, between the 24th of the 6th and the 14th of the 8th, and you can find that at www.visitalavus.fi. Yeah, so
I think the idea with that is that the kids go ride for free while the parents enjoy the shopping.
Yeah, exactly, and it's a good, right now Idea Park have a Tivoli actually happening right now as well, out where the Dusens Park end of the car park.
Okay.
They have a Tivoli down there as well, so they're all getting into it now. So
I will add links to all of those into the show notes.
Of course. What's your next featured event, Mark?
Yeah, we've talked in previous episodes about different sporting seasons starting, and I thought I'd give a little shout out to our friends at Seinäjoik Rugby Club, because the Finnish rugby season starting. So this is obviously spectator sport. Rugby is a growing sport in Finland, so there aren't that many teams, and there aren't that many games in a season.
Be wary that it's rugby union, not rugby league. So if you look it up and you see rugby league, it's rugby union.
Right. Yeah.
Make sure you get the right rugby, because they're pretty different.
They are. This is rugby union, and Seinäjoki Rugby have got their first home game on Saturday the 4th. It's in, and they have like maybe just 3 or 4 more home games during the summer. I've got details of all the different fixtures in the blog post and in the image for this episode, and it's in Linnanpuisto, which is the park along the sort of Pajuluoma river there in the upper area of Seinäjoki. It's a little bit tucked away, but you'll search Linnanpuisto on Google, as James told me, and you'll find it quite nicely. They're also always interested to hear from people that are keen on playing rugby. So if you're from a rugby playing country, reach out to them via their website or via Facebook.
I had a go a few years back, and because I'm Australian, we come from rugby league, it's a bit harder and rougher. I tried to tackle a guy that was bigger than me, and he broke my ribs.
Oh, right. So you play the bigger, rougher game, but you hurt yourself. Yeah.
Well, because in rugby union, the whole idea of the game is to submit, run forward, submit, run forward, submit. Yeah. Whereas I come from rugby league, where it's run forward and be dominant. And so that means run as aggressively and as fast as you can. And that usually means that the hits are much bigger. That's why there's a bigger difference between the two games.
That's true. And this game, I know that they're keen to try and get more women playing and to start a women's side as well. And I know a lot of their training is kind of touch rugby. So they do the drills, they do the training. My stepson did some training with them a while ago, and a lot of the games they play, it's touch rugby, and then obviously when they're playing in the league, it's full contact. So you could check out their training sessions also on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Exactly.
But
don't be put off by, like, the only reason I hurt myself is because I've played for many years, so that's why I was playing a bit more aggressively. But they'll teach you all the skills in touch rugby. Now, touch football, as we call it in Australia, is basically all of the tactics of rugby league or union, but there's no contact. It's just touch. Like, you touch them and there's your tackle. That you'll learn all of how to play the game in a safe setting like that, and then you'll be taught how to tackle properly so you don't hurt yourself.
It doesn't cost anything to go and watch them. They're playing in a public park area. I'm sure they'll be happy to have some people watching. You can find out more details at their website, seinäjokirugby.fi, and the fixture list is on their Facebook page. And again, it's another one where there's an Explore Finland episode called Finnish Rugby, Seinäjoki Rugby, Snow Rugby. So feel free to check that out as well.
Yeah, so my next event on the calendar is actually very, very recently opened as of last year. It's a little kiosk, but this little kiosk has fast turned from a kiosk into an event area.
Okay.
Because rather than just being a kiosk for sodas and ice creams, it's turned into the local bar in my little community, but they also have held live music events there as well. So this is this is the Kiuaskallio Plassi opening season. That happens on the 4th. Seems to be the opening season for everybody. Yeah. The 4th of June, and it's a bar and event centre. It's on Munakkantie 850 in Ilmajoki. The local Munakka village kiosk, it opens its doors for the first time in the 2022 season. The kiosk is located about halfway down that road. The road is a popular winding road for vintage car clubs and motorbike clubs, and people who want a bit of definition and a bit of wind in their road, as most of the roads in the Etelä-Pohjanmaa, or even in Finland in general, are quite straight. So a lot of motorbike riders and car cruisers like going down it, and hence this is an absolute perfect location. Not only do they have beer at a certain time in the afternoon, they're a licensed event. They've just installed a glass inner, what would you call that? Like a covered sunroom area.
Okay.
For those rainy days. They've got a deck outside. They're building a new deck. They have a car park off the road where you can access. They even have toilets. Like, their amenities for something that is supposed to only be a kiosk has really grown within the 1 year.
Kiosks only have, you get your food, you eat there, and then you leave.
That's
this is somewhere you can go and relax a little while.
This is a deck. They have a deck. They're building a new deck. They have a glass in-area deck so that when the colder months come, they can heat it, or if it's rainy, you can have it in there. They have a toilet on the end, which is rare. They have their own car park. they're licensed, and they actually held a mini music festival there last year. So nice. These guys are definitely worth going and having a look at, especially if you're one of them motorcycle riders who want a bit of a windy road to lean into, or a nice country road to cruise down, because it's such a scenic drive through all the fields and all that out there, and it's perfectly situated halfway down the road. So
what sort of food and drinks are they selling?
They sell everything. There were hot dogs last year. They had vegan hot dogs. They had. It's not just the makara. They actually had a lot of stuff. They got ice cream, beer. They have a lot more than a kiosk has. They're more of a little cafe now rather than a kiosk, which is nice. And so they're not making that much profit. They're doing it more for the love of it. So definitely go down there and support them, because last year I was watching, I don't know what it was. Was it the Euros?
Maybe.
We were watching the Euros of soccer in a little fielded area on a deck with the sun out, and he put a TV out for us.
Nice.
And we were watching the Euros in soccer. So it was absolutely beautiful, and you can't find anything like that anywhere else. Because
even if you're just looking for somewhere different to go for a short drive, even though even a short drive nowadays costs quite a lot of money,
of course,
and fuel.
But like I said, Munakantia is over near on the way to Ylistaro. It's in Ilmajoki, but it's near Halkasari turnoff. I think that it's generally pretty close to Seinäjoki, so it's out of town, but it's still in very close to town. And
but you mentioned before about the Markkinat, about taking cash. What about at this place?
This place here has a card machine. They're very, very sophisticated type setup. Like, they just got new fridges and everything. I was just watching every time I drive past, because that's where I live. I live on Munakantia as well. Every time I drive past, I'd see like a new fridge or something going in. And now they're building a new deck out there. They've put a lot of time and effort into this, and it's only their second year of being open. So they're really taking this seriously, and it's picturesque, and it is absolutely, on a summer's night, it's beautiful.
Yeah, you gave them a shout out last year in one of the shows.
I gave them a shout out.
It's interesting to hear how it's changing.
Yeah, but see, like, I gave them a shout out, but I didn't know that they would turn their business from such a small, insignificant kiosk into maybe possibly one of the areas go to summer, like a bucket list kind of area to go and check out, because it's such a beautiful area. There's such nice people. Ari, the owner and the guy who runs it out there, he speaks English. There's people who speak English out there. It's nice. It's good for the local youth too, because they actually get employed there. They get summer jobs there. So like, they've done quite a service to the community out there, and it's definitely worth going out and checking it out. So yeah, definitely take your credit cards, and again, possibly take some cash just in case the reception gets a bit spotty on the machine. But they have cards and everything, and so they have quite a good setup going on.
Where can people find out more? So
at the moment, the only place that I can find is they have their own Facebook page. It's www.facebook.com//Kioski Plassi. Plassi. Sorry.
Very good. Okay, my last event today is Sauna Festarit 2022, and this is it's a festival of mobile saunas. This is taking place at Ravintola Kalajärvi in Peräseinäjoki from Friday the 10th to Sunday the 12th of June. It's been in my calendar for a few months because I was there 3 years ago. I've been waiting for this to come back. I've just released a short Explore Finland podcast about this. So if you look at Finnish sauna festivals, you'll find that episode. And this is a slice of real Finnish culture. There will be a selection of mobile saunas, and these could be like converted camper vans, trucks. I think last time there was like a fire engine that had been converted, or a fire truck. There are even saunas built onto the back of trailers so they can be towed around, and there was even a sauna in a tent, which to me seemed quite dangerous, but the owner was very happy for me to go in there and try it. it's free to visit, and you can even try the saunas. This is the thing, it's like a participation thing. You're not just going to watch other people having fun. You can go in and use the saunas. So take your swimwear, and you know, you can just talk to the owners. They enjoy sort of showing off their saunas.
Speaking of weird saunas, if you look at, we'll link up here somewhere. We went to Lapajärvi for the ice carousel. Well, you think a tent is weird. They literally built an igloo and
that's true. He did, didn't he?
Made a little heat pump inside a room when it's freezing, and then they had the little sauna inside a little igloo. So if you want to check that out, there'll be a little card up here somewhere, and it'll link you to some weird little ice sauna. So. They really do have some weird contraptions when it comes to sauna.
Finns have got no limit to their imagination when it comes to building a sauna of some sort. This Sauna Festarit 2022 is located next to the beach at Lake Kalajärvi, so you have all the facilities of Ravintola Kalajärvi, so the restaurant, bar, toilets and changing rooms. And if you get a bit overheated from the saunas, you can just go and dip in the lake. It's awesome. Hopefully they'll have good weather. When we went there 3 years ago, there was a thunderstorm on its way, which was interesting. But it was nice and warm, and it was good. And also this time in the evening, there will also be live music from a covers band called Rocking Group, and they'll be playing a selection of cover versions to keep the party swinging into the night. As I said before, it's free to go to the sauna Festarit. It's €6 if you want to stay for the live music. That starts at 10:30 at night. Yep. And obviously there's the restaurant where you can buy food and drinks throughout the day. There isn't a website for this, but there's a link to a Facebook post where you can find the details, and also in our blog post we'll put the poster with all the details as well. But there's also one other event at Kalajärvi that same weekend. Glenn and I went and recorded an episode of the Nordic Tourist Wild West of Finland podcast, which will be coming out soon. And we went to the SF Kalajärvi Caravan Park, and they have this Peräkontikirpis, which is literally a car boot sale or flea market, and it's taking place at the same weekend. Yeah. So Friday 10th, Saturday the 11th, from 9 until 5. Guests at the caravan park can sell in front of their own caravans, and there'll also be places for non-guests to sell from their car boot as well. And it's free of charge if you want to sell. Again, take some cash if you want to buy. Yeah. But it was interesting when we went there, because that place is bigger than we realised, and this will give you an opportunity to walk around, check out the site, and see what people are selling from the boots of their cars.
Quite a lot of things happening in that Kalajärvi Matkailukeskus area.
That's right. And it might be nice to take a break from all those saunas and swimming and go and see if there's a bargain you can pick up. So as I said, it's free to go and check it out. Thanks to Päivi for pointing this out to us and for welcoming us down there a little while ago. And there's a link to the Facebook event in the blog post.
So that's all for this episode. Thanks for joining us. Please press the subscribe button wherever you found us. Remember, links to these events are listed in the blog post. You'll find the link to the blog post in the description of the podcast and the video descriptions.
Yeah, that's right. Plus all the details for the events that we've discussed today. The easiest place to find us is NordicExplorerProductions.com, where we have links to our previous episodes and our social media profiles. Also, we've just launched our Facebook page for What's on Southern Ostrobothnia. So find us there. Join the crowd of people that are eagerly awaiting us publishing this episode, I guess. In the meantime, you can find me, Mark Wiltshire, or Explore Finland on Facebook or Instagram.
And me as the Nordic Tourist on YouTube and Instagram.
We'd love to hear your thoughts about this show, and we'd also love to hear any events that you've got coming up in the Southern Ostrobothnia region. So reach out to us via our website or via the Facebook page. But until the next episode, to all you eteläpohjalaiset, moro!
Heippa!